Hi everyone, it's Roger here from What's On at DisneyPlus.com. It's Monday, it's time for a quick Disney Plus news roundup. We're going to be talking about Sound of Music being removed from Disney Plus. I'm going to be also talking about the cancellation of National Treasure Edge of History. Also going to be talking about A Small Light, sharing my first thoughts on the series and much more. But before we go any further, make sure you do hit that subscribe button, make sure you do hit that like button as well, that really does help. And let's jump into it. Okay, so let's kick things off with one of the biggest stories over the weekend, which was The Sound of Music, which is no longer available on Disney Plus around the world. A lot of people are not happy about the fact that it's been removed, and also the fact that Disney generally doesn't kind of give us information in advance when this stuff happens. Now, we don't know why this has happened. We don't know if this is going to be temporary or if it'll be a long-term thing. But I'm just going to jump now into why this might have happened. We've got no official word, but generally removals like this happen. When they happen globally, it's generally not down to a contract. You know, we see it a lot in the US with films that get removed and they get sent over to like HBO Max or something like that. It's a little bit different in the case when it's global because they're not going to HBO Max because that doesn't exist like in Australia or the UK. So there could be a couple of reasons. It could be a technical glitch. Maybe that like an expiry date has run out and so therefore no one noticed and that's why it's gone. We have seen it happen in the past with some films like Alice in Wonderland suddenly just vanished and then it kind of got brought back. Sometimes as well they could be replacing files, you know, maybe upgrading it to a better version. They could be editing it, taking something in or out, might be adding a warning. Again, we won't really know. Sometimes these things will just pop back on with no word of why it happens. But obviously The Sound of Music is a huge film. One of the biggest films from 20th Century's Fox. It has won lots of Oscars. It is just world renowned. Usually end up watching it around Christmas time. So hopefully it does come back. Oklahoma was also removed from Disney Plus in the United States and in some other countries. It wasn't available everywhere in the same way that The Sound of Music was. So hopefully it does get brought back. There might be some other issues that we're not aware of, but yeah, these kind of things generally kind of work themselves out eventually. While we've seen like documentaries and stuff removed and films that nobody really watches, Sound of Music is huge. I mean, it is just a really popular film, so hopefully this one gets sorted out pretty soon. But let me know what you think of Disney removing The Sound of Music from Disney Plus in the comments below. Now let's talk about some other bad news because National Treasure Edge of History is not going to be returning for a second season. It's confirmed by Deadline over the weekend. Now I'm going to be perfectly honest, I did not expect this series to be picked up for a second season because I didn't think it was that good. I know some people like it, but when you look through the comments about this one here, there's a lot of people like, well, it wasn't like, personally for me, it just didn't live up to the National Treasure branding. You know, not having Nicolas Cage in there really hurt it. And in some ways, if you took the National Treasure name off the show and just called it Edge of History or Treasure Hunters generic, something like that, it would have really not made a lot of difference. So it's not going to be returning. We haven't really heard anything about this series since it finished back in January, so that was kind of a good indication that there wasn't a lot of hope that it was coming back. It really just shows that Disney is really struggling to get kind of non-Marvel and Star Wars shows into that sort of next level where people are watching. The show did actually once break through to the Nielsen chart, but that was just due to the fact that there wasn't much else out that week. It managed to get in. It's just another nail in the coffin. I think it kind of ended. It kind of had a cliffhanger to leave it open, but they also kind of wrapped it up as well. I did watch it all, but I wasn't surprised with this announcement. Disney really does need to work on getting more original content and maybe not just slapping a franchise logo on something and expecting people to tune in. It has to be good. It has to be great. And who was the target audience for this? Was it teenagers? Was it tweens? Was it adults? I don't know. It was a very all over the place. But again, it's not coming back, and this just adds to that. I mean, we've had so many cancellations. We're really hardly having anything that's really kind of doing anything other than, like, I think High School Musical, the musical, the series, and even that had a thing slapped on it. So it's just a pain, and Disney is really going to have to see and just do better. But ultimately, they're not going to invest money in a show that is just not pulling in enough viewers when they could invest that money in something else. And obviously, Disney are trying to save money right now as well. But let me know in the comments below, did you think it's right that Disney has cancelled National Treasure Edge of History? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. This past Saturday it was Earth Day and Disney released a brand new series on Disney Plus around the world except for in Canada, that's coming later, which was Secrets of the Elephant. So you can find all 4 episodes available now. So if you enjoy elephants, you're going to want to check this series out. It's on my to-do list. Had another show that I watched instead, which I'm going to talk about a little bit later on. But also with it being Earth Day, Disney announced that the next DisneyNature film called Tiger is going to be coming out next year. We got the first 2 images, no real details on it. It's going to be coming to Disney Plus. Assuming it's going to be on Earth Day, because it kind of said vaguely in the tweet, they sort of put in Earth Day. And most of the DisneyNature films have been released on Earth Day anyway, so expect to see that one drop then. I'll be honest, DisneyNature doesn't quite hit it for me. It looks beautiful, it looks amazing. I really enjoy the making of documentaries that go alongside it. I think they're a little bit better. I just don't really like the whole kind of the story element, like it feels a little bit childish. But they have been hugely successful, especially with the shift over to putting them out on Disney Plus. I think that's probably the right market for it rather than putting it out in cinemas, because there was a little bit of international distribution's always been a little bit hit and miss on those films. But at least we know what the next Disneynature film is. Do you enjoy them? Are you looking forward to watching Tiger? Let me know in the comments below. Okay, so let's now talk about A Small Light, a brand new series that's coming to Disney Plus on the 2nd of May around the world, except for in Canada. You're going to have to wait a little bit longer. Again, linear issues with National Geographic coming into it. But nevertheless, it's also coming to Hulu in the United States. It's also going to be on linear networks. Disney are kind of really going in all on this, and there's going to be 2 episodes dropping every Tuesday pretty much right through May. So I've seen all 8 episodes. This one it's a fantastic series. I really enjoyed it. It's a little bit hard hitting. There's some moments in there that made me cry, you know, because this is all about a family being hidden during World War II in Amsterdam. It is the story of Anne Frank, who you might know because it's a well-known story with her diary being found. And this one's pretty much all about the people that kind of were looking after them and hiding them and what they were having to do. It is pretty hard hitting. Now with this series, it doesn't show you too much in terms of like violence or anything like that. It kind of sort of implicates that it's happening and kind of says about it, but doesn't really show you too much. So it's not like, you know, like an 18 or TV MA. It's a little bit more mature. I definitely wouldn't say it's for younger kids, but I think they would be really bored watching it. But for teenagers, and if they are doing school or anything on like World War II, I think this is a really good series to kind of go along with that and just like learning more about it. I didn't know much about this story beforehand, so I found it very interesting. It's not easy because ultimately we know that Anne Frank and her family, you know, they end up getting sort of taken off to concentration camps, and not all of them make it. I mean, it's not really a spoiler. It's like history, and it's been around for a long time. But it's a story of Meet and her husband Jan, who are helping them and also dealing with other issues going on during World War II in Amsterdam. It is fascinating. It is a really good series. I can't recommend this enough. This is that, you know, if we want more stuff like this on Disney Plus, people need to watch it. This is a fantastic limited series. This is what we want. It is. The family can watch it together. Like I said, it's a little bit hard. It's not but there's lots of, you know, there's upbeat stuff in there. It's not all. It's not negative. I think they've played around a little bit with the story a little bit to kind of make it more palatable to modern audiences and to kind of make it better as a show. But honestly, really, really enjoyed this series. Can't wait for everyone to watch it. I think dropping 2 episodes a week over 4 weeks kind of really allows you to kind of get in on it and binge it. I binged a whole lot over the weekend. That was, just really thought it was good. And yeah, it was one of those really hard things. There's like one of the later episodes where you know the raid is coming. You know they're going to get caught because it's history. You know, we know what happened. And it's just horrible when it happens. And then the after effects of like them all finding out, you know, like after World War II's ended and stuff. It is just really, really good. And I can't recommend this one enough. It's a real hard-hitting show. One of the best shows I've seen this year. And also there's, you know, we've got some great shows and stuff coming up. This one is a really highlight one. Really shows the power of Disney Plus to get this one out. There will be an interview up later this week with the executive producers of the show. I got to speak with them last week. So yeah, this is just a great show, and I'm really looking forward to letting people just see it. I think it is just really good. But moving on from there, let's now do the question of the day. So Tom asks, just started watching 911 for the first time and I'm really enjoying it. Do you know if there will be more seasons in the near future? Well, this Well, this week, new episodes of the latest season 6, will be dropping onto Disney Plus on Wednesday, with new episodes dropping each week. The good news is it has been renewed for a 7th season. So yes, it is going to be returning. So that's great news. Obviously in the US, it's aired on the Fox network and on Hulu as well. And here in the UK, it is a Disney Plus original series. That's the only place you can watch it. But yeah, so if you enjoyed 911, I watched the first couple of seasons. I kind of fell off with it. Didn't really I think it was after like a big wave went through, and I just haven't really watched it since then. But if you enjoy 911 and obviously 911 Lone Star, which is also exclusive here on Disney Plus in the UK, let me know in the comments below. Well, anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching. Make sure you go check us out over at whatsondisneyplus.com. Like, follow, and subscribe. Big thank you to our Patrons and YouTube channel members. And on that note, guys, thank you very much. See you guys soon. Laters.